Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Ashlyn and today's video is going to be definitely a different one. It is going to be a little bit personal. We are talking about my digestive issues and my colonoscopy that I just had. It is March 14th today and I had my procedure on March 3rd. So it has not been that long since my procedure. I really wanted to do a video about this because I am 21. Usually most people don't get a colonoscopy till they're about in their 50s. I really hope that y'all enjoy this video. I hope you find it a little bit helpful. Again, like I said, it is going to be a little bit personal. We're going to be talking about digestive things. So if that's just not for you, then I probably would not watch this video today. But let's go ahead and get started. So I do have my laptop with me. I'm going to be looking at some key points on here. I have some notes. So if you see me kind of looking off, that's what I'm looking at. But first I'm going to start kind of with the whole journey that I have and why I got a colonoscopy in the first place. This all started around March of 2020 when lockdown first happened. I went on a weight loss journey while I was in quarantine because I really had nothing else to do and I've been wanting to do it for a while. To be honest, I did not take it in the healthiest way. I honestly was just kind of doing what I could do to lose weight fastest. Of course, I did the 1200 calorie a day challenge, I guess you could call it, where I would just eat 1200 calories a day, which is not good. At the same time, I was walking about for an hour every day because at the time my husband and I were doing long distance. We would talk on the phone for about an hour every day, and instead of just sitting around, I liked to go outside and take a walk because it was in the springtime, it was great outside. And then in the afternoon, I would do a beach body workout. So I was burning a lot of calories and not taking in enough calories. None of my digestive problems started happening till October, but I do feel what I did to lose weight may have just disrupted something in my body. I've had my thyroid checked. I've had everything really checked out. They've done almost every test they could on me when they take blood. That's just something that I believe could have caused this. I would say September to October of 2020. I moved up here to Nebraska with my husband. We got married in July. It all started with 1 week where I just was not having any bowel movements. I wasn't going to the bathroom, which has never been something that was an issue to me. Like, I would always have regular bowel movements, and so I started noticing that I would go about a week without going. It was a big struggle, and so I decided to give it about a month because I know that sometimes it can depend on what you eat. I was working out every day. I was eating super healthy, so I was kind of concerned. I was like, I'm super healthy right now, like I don't get it. At the time, I will admit I was a little bit underweight, so at first I thought that maybe was it, and that if I gained a little bit of weight, maybe that'll help, because sometimes malnutrition and stuff like that will cause constipation. I went about a month and I didn't end up going, so I decided to go to my family doctor. My family doctor put me on Miralax. They told me to take Miralax every day and see if it helped, and it did. He ran blood tests for celiac disease, for all these different types of tests. I'm not sure what he did, but I know he did celiac, and all of them came back normal. So he told me just to take Miralax and that he would refer me to a GI specialist. My husband is in the military, so we do have TRICARE, so everything that I'm mentioning right now is covered, which was great. All of these things kept happening, and sooner or later more symptoms came and some symptoms went. So constipation has always been a common thing. It's been the pattern for almost 2 years now. It's been almost 2 years since I've had all this. Then I started getting bloated and my stomach would swell up. It was huge. I'll put a picture right here because it was awful. I never could wear any of my clothes when I was bloated. I couldn't fit into any of my jeans. Like, I had to wear leggings all the time. The bloating most of the time came with these awful cramps. I know a bunch of people are gonna be like, well, Ashlyn, maybe it's the food you're eating. It's not the food I'm eating. I've tried everything. I could go eat a salad and my stomach will bloat up huge. And then I could go eat fried chicken and my stomach would be perfectly fine. And then some days I'll eat fried chicken and then it'll bloat up, and some days I'll eat a salad and it doesn't. And honestly, it's kind of sad because sometimes the healthier foods do make my stomach swell up more, especially raw vegetables. I know that raw vegetables are hard to digest, so I have to be really careful with my raw vegetables. Acid reflux has become a major thing these past few months. At first it wasn't that bad, but now if I don't take my 2 Prilosec a day, once in the morning, once at night, there's 2 periods where I couldn't eat anything for about a week because my throat was just so swollen and it was just so irritated that anytime I ate anything, my throat would feel like it wasn't working, and I'd feel like I'd be kind of like there was something stuck in my throat, and then I'd have a sore throat. So those are the main ones that I went to the doctor complaining about. So my doctor referred me, after I told him all of that, to my GI specialist, and by that time I had waited almost a year to finally get everything sorted out, get all the testing done. The I went a while without seeing a doctor, and it was very frustrating. My husband knows how frustrating it's been on me emotionally. It's been just so frustrating, and I was just ready to see my specialist and see what I was going to get done. So August came around, and literally 2 days before my appointment, I got COVID. So I had to reschedule again, and I had to reschedule for January of 2022. So I was furious. So I go see my specialist. He definitely recommends that I get an endoscopy because I've complained of my acid reflux, and they wanted to see what's going on there, and they wanted to see if I need ulcers. He was concerned about celiac disease, which I had already gotten tested, but she wanted to just double check on that one just in case. I go to get my colonoscopy, and that's where I am now. I have my test results, and I'm kind of happy with what I received. So they did find some polyps in my large intestine with my colonoscopy. They removed some of those, and they did find that they were not cancerous, which is great, but she was a little bit concerned that they would grow back and that there would be more in the future. So she said in about 7 to 10 years to go get another colonoscopy, which to a lot of people does not sound very soon, but to me that is very soon because I was expecting not to get another one for maybe another 25 years. So the fact that I have to go back in 7 to 10 years and get another one is a little bit concerning to me, but she said that everything looked good. She did find some lymphocytes, some white blood cells in my colon, but she said that could also be caused by my Prilosec. My endoscopy was good. They did not find any ulcers. They took some biopsies and everything came back normal. She wants me to stay on Miralax for a few months. And then if Miralax is still not doing that great, she might start me on a different medicine, maybe Linzess or something. She said I'm young, I'm 21, and she doesn't really want to start me on Linzess. So that's kind of my whole story for my digestive issues. It's just really hard and it's really frustrating to me because I am 21 years old and I'm having these problems. So now moving on to the actual colonoscopy itself. The colonoscopy procedure itself is not hard at all. You are asleep for it. This long tube with a camera on the end, and they insert it up your behind, and then they go and look in your large intestine, and then for the endoscopy they'll stick it down your throat, and they get to look in your throat, stomach, and then your small intestine. It's kind of scary to think getting put under and then something going up in you. So just for a reference, the laxative I was given, it was like PEG 3880 or something. I'll put it up on the screen, but it basically was powder, and it came in this huge jug, and you had to fill it up with water. Tasted, if you take Miralax, it takes like Miralax, like if you don't mix it well enough, but like times 10. It's very salty. Mine had electrolytes in it so that it can replenish my electrolytes before, you know, I get rid of a lot of waste. So it was very salty. It was very plasticky tasting. It was just very strong. It was not the worst thing I guess I would drink in my entire life. I am not a big alcohol person, and alcohol honestly tastes worse. And I'm going to talk about kind of how the procedure went. The procedure was at noon, but I had to get there around 10:30 to 10:45. So I got to the place, and it was just kind of set up with a bunch of different rooms. And so they check you in, they'll check my vitals, they hook me up to an EKG machine to check my heart rate. They were also going to hook me up to an IV because I was just so severely dehydrated, but they could not find anything at all. This is going to be a tip, but they poked me, and I still kind of have some bruising. They poked me around 8 times. I mentioned it in last video, but they poked me so many times. They could not find a vein for any IV at all because that's how they did my anesthesia. It was just so small and frail, and I was dehydrated. I was crying. It took them so many times to finally get into a vein. It probably took them about 30 to about 45 minutes. So just keep that in mind, stay hydrated. So once I got that IV inserted, you know, they came in, asked me a bunch of questions. I was probably waiting there for about an hour just for that whole procedure. So after that is when I went into the room, and then they put me under anesthesia. I woke up just like I took a good nap, and then I came back into my room, and once the anesthesia wore off, which took about probably 20 to 30 minutes, they said, okay, you're good to go now. And my husband drove me home when we got food. So that timeline is honestly not that bad. And I was only there for about 3 hours. My procedure only took 30 minutes. Honestly, my whole goal throughout this was to kind of not to cry when I was in the procedure room. But once they started poking me with IVs and just talking about the anesthesia, I started crying. And then they poked me, you know, like I said, 8 times. And I just started bawling my eyes out. So it is perfectly okay to cry. So here are some tips that I'm going to give y'all if you're going to have a colonoscopy. If you have not checked out my colonoscopy vlog, I will link it up above, and just go check that out. And it's a really funny watch. My first tip is to get all of the Jello. At first I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get, you know, a little bit of Jello, a few cups here, a few cups there, and then a few to make. No, if you're like me and you love to eat and you're hungry all the time, especially when I was getting my colonoscopy done and I was fasting, get all the Jello you can. Most doctors want you to stay away from red and pink and purple Jello, I believe, but like light blue, green, yellow, orange, you can have all of those Jellos. I made myself like 3 big bowls and I ended up eating all of them, and I had little cups. Some of the Jello was sugar-free, some of it was not, because I didn't want to have like a bunch of sugar, but then I also wanted some calories throughout the day. I actually got some Sonic Jello that was really good, and it was like green apple, like slushy tasting. My next tip is you can eat popsicles as long as they are not red or purple or like a dark color. Like I mentioned, they are none of those colors and they are dairy free. So what I like to eat was banana pops. So banana pops are the popsicles, you know, as a kid that you would eat. They're all yellow. There's 2 sticks and you can break it apart and eat 1 pop and 1 pop. I had banana pops. I ate probably like 10 of those. They were super good, and it was just kind of something that was sentimental because I had those all the time as a kid. Right, so this one tip, like I mentioned earlier, is very important to stay hydrated. I know it is very, very hard because you're losing so much liquid out of your body. Try to drink a Gatorade Zero every hour. You're going to be on the toilet a lot, and you would much rather be hydrated to where they can get an IV in you and you don't feel sick and frail like I did. I did try to drink a lot of Gatorade as I could, and I still was dehydrated. I drank a lot of Gatorade actually, and I was pretty dehydrated when I went in. I really want to emphasize staying hydrated. Don't think that you can just drink, you know, the electrolytes that are in your stool softener or your laxative and just be like, oh, those will do, because they won't. My next tip is baby wipes and propping your feet up when you are on the toilet. I know this is going to be very personal, but like I said, we're talking about colonoscopies. So obviously sitting on the toilet for a long time, your legs will fall asleep. What I like to do is I have like a decorative metal basket in my bathroom. I flip it upside down and I prop my feet on that to where they're kind of, my knees are kind of out in front of me, bent. It's a lot more comfortable. Your legs don't fall asleep as fast, and you can kind of just, you know, prop yourself up and do what you need to do. My next trick, which I did not do this, but you can flavor your laxative. If you want to get like Crystal Light packets or something, put it in your laxative, mix it around so that it's not, you know, like super horrible. You can do that. Just try to make it, I guess, kind of your own. If you want to put it in apple juice, put in some apple juice. Do what you need to do to make sure that you can get it down and really chug it down. Drinking in increments and chasing your drink like you're taking a shot, or plugging your nose. What I did was I got an 8 ounce, or I can't remember if it was 12 ounces. Well, it was a mason jar of the laxative. What I would do is I would plug my nose using a straw, because that helps so much too. Plug your nose, drinking with a straw, and chugging half of it, chasing it with Gatorade, and then chug the rest half, and then you're done. And probably try to do that around every 20 minutes. All of that is gonna really help the whole process go down. One thing that I will say will help me also was watching a bunch of colonoscopy videos before you get the procedure. The night before, I watched a bunch of videos how they do the procedure. I talked to people in my family who have had the procedure done. Just things like that. It'd be a lot more comforting to see what they actually do, and that the procedure honestly is not that scary. Okay, so I'm gonna answer some questions. I had some questions on Instagram, so I'm gonna go look at those real quick. So basically the first question was why I needed one. I just went over that obviously, but my main concerns were constipation, cramping, and acid reflux. And then the next one, they asked, was it painful or uncomfortable? I know the situation would be weird, but was the experience itself bad? It was not uncomfortable. You are asleep during the whole procedure. Afterwards, I was expecting to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I actually was not. My stomach did cramp and hurt like the day of and the day after from the polyps. Every time I would eat something, it would hurt a little bit from them, you know, extracting the polyps. But other than that, I really did not have any pain. But it was not uncomfortable. If you are asking uncomfortable, like how you're, you know, have just a gown on and they do that whole procedure, I've been to so many doctors before, and so many people have looked at me that at this point I really don't care if people, you know, need to see something. I know it's for medical reasons, so I'm not really that uncomfortable. And then someone asks if it hurt down there after. No, it did not hurt, which is, like I said, surprising. I kind of thought that it would be a little bit uncomfortable, but no. All right, and this is reacting to some comments on YouTube that I had. So someone asks, I'm worried about going under anesthesia. Can you explain what it was like? Did they tell you what they were injecting or administering it, and then did you feel sleepy, or was it just like you still felt awake and then suddenly you were waking up the next second? Could you fought it and kept your eyes open, or was there no chance? So what I can explain what it's like is they'll have an IV and they'll inject it into you. Just all of a sudden I got really dizzy and kind of hot, honestly. And then I just got really sleepy. I kind of felt like I had a dream. I kind of remember a little bit of a dream, but I don't. Definitely feels like a nap. Like it's not like a go to sleep and then wake up. For a lot of people it is, but not for me. For me it was kind of like felt kind of like a 5-minute nap, and then I woke up. And then could you have fought it and kept your eyes open? No, you cannot fight it. I kind of did because I was like, I don't feel so good telling them that I was dizzy. But no, you definitely cannot fight it. I don't know what kind of anesthesia I was under. I can't remember the specific type though, but I think it was just general. I was scared about the whole procedure. I wasn't scared of the colonoscopy or endoscopy itself. I was scared more about going under general anesthesia because I've never been. I will say afterwards, after you get the general anesthesia, you wake up, you feel very tired, you feel very loopy. The rest of the day, honestly, you're gonna feel really good. You're gonna get to eat. I had canes. I know some people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you had canes after the whole colonoscopy, which my doctor said it was fine. And I woke up and I was wanting fried chicken, so that's what I got. Canes. Canes is like my favorite fast food restaurant. I will say the ups and downs, the hardest part about my colonoscopy was the prep. It was not that fun. I felt very nauseous and weak as the day went on. It was not that great. If you are getting a colonoscopy soon, please do not be scared. I hope that this video helped. I hope to give out some good information. I will leave my socials down below. If you do have any more questions, you can just message me on Instagram. You are going to be okay. The pain mostly is just the emotional pain of getting through the whole fasting and everything. But I really hope that this video helped you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I just hope that you have a great rest of your day. And thank you for watching, and I will catch you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.